Hey, MAGA. Yeah, I got something for you. When you wake up, no, you're not staying in the house all day. No, we gonna go look for work. That's what you promised us. Ran election. That's what you promised. So you gonna go look for work. So we got you something. Hey, shout out to all of the subscribers and members here on the channel. Don't forget to like the video. I am Reese Waters, and this is Who Raised Y'all, where we highlight those unique individuals going above and beyond to make society worse.
Special thanks to our sponsor, Coinbase.
You know, the kinds of people you'll see asking to speak to the manager at the pearly gates.
I want to talk to the manager.
So, farmers, we've been here before. How y'all doing?
60% of our exports were going to China. Trade wars started that effectively lost soybean, corn, took a big hit. I mean, it really, and all farmers in the whole country were affected.
That's a shame. Well, you know, that is a small price to pay for principle. The principle of America first. And that, I believe, is what the MAGAs always wanted. Isn't that right, MAGAs? Well, you know, farmers, you got to stand on business.
I got to come over here and admit, y'all got me. You Trump supporters, y'all got me. Hey, y'all boy, he did do some good. He did do some good. Now, since he been in office, the economy has shrunk 2.8%. NASDAQ down, S&P down, shit. Job loss, record highs. That's beside the point. I realized he did do something that he said he would do. He made his first steps toward fixing this economy. Because guess what? Out in Nebraska, they hiring. Missouri, they hiring. Up in Ohio, they're hiring. Yeah. Raul and Sanchez and them gone. They hiring.
Just in case you didn't hear the man, they hiring. Just in case, MAGA, they hiring. Yeah, they are hiring. But you know how it is. You know what I mean? You got like a son or nephew or uncle, something. You know what I mean? You can't expect them to check the paper. You gotta go get the paper, open up the classifieds, and put it on their pillow for when they wake up in the morning at 2 p.m. So let me help you out, MAGA. Here you go.
So y'all, AM, PM staffing service posted this on Facebook because they're looking for farm pickers. And these are the terms right here. The comments, I'm going to show y'all some of the comments. The comments, Lord have mercy.
My personal favorite, y'all know what Mr. Lincoln said, we don't have to. Why? You know what I mean? Why? With the honorable mention to, y'all should just go ahead and delete this. Y'all just go ahead and delete this. You know what I mean? Like, you posted a photo from a bad angle, or you forgot that it was see-through. Like, that kind of, you need to delete this. Why don't we check this out? So we got farm labor needed, American citizens only. We got that in all caps. Long hours, sun up until sundown. So basically, just as long as they can see that you're there, they want you to be there. A half-hour lunch. That's a little bit short. You know what I mean? Because if I'm out in the fields, it's going to take me 10 minutes to get to and from wherever I'm eating lunch. You know what I mean? I sweat a lot. It's going to take me 7-8 minutes to stop sweating so I can even enjoy. I might as well just have my lunch on me in the fields and just sit down where I'm at for 30 minutes. I mean, really. Must be able to work in extreme heat. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? I run hot. I run hot. Must be able to lift 50 pounds. Well, I didn't intend to pick that much. So I don't need to lift maybe 15, 16 pounds, maybe? Huh? Ability to lift above shoulders and to bend. Why I gotta be so hard? You know what I mean? Not everybody, well, just figure out a conveyor belt situation. Not everybody gotta do that part. I've moved before. Move quickly and work under pressure. Yeah, you better be able to move quickly because you got to get to and from lunch in 30 minutes. That's as quick as I can go. You'll be paid minimum wage, and by the bucket, the faster you move, the more money you can make. Hurry on down to your local farm field to apply. And it says driver's license and legal documentation is a must. Don't let immigrants take your job. Hey, MAGA, yeah, I got something for you. When you wake up, no, you're not staying in the house all day. No, we gonna go look for work. That's what you promised us. Ran election. That's what you promised. So you gonna go look for work. So we got you something.
Hey y'all, they're hiring farm pickers, $11 an hour, 9 to 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, May through July, in Luling, Louisiana. MAGA! Aren't you guys so excited? You finally got what you wanted. You got rid of all the brown people taking all your jobs. Now go get them. Go get the job. There's the numbers on there. I think it's a staffing agency. They'll set you up with your containers. You could be in the hot, burning sun for 10 hours a day picking blueberries, making $0. You're still going to need Medicaid, which you're not going to have because your cult leader's taking it away. But like, what ever? Go get those white people Americana jobs. Go, hurry. Good luck, you crazy son of a bitch.
And by the way, you should have your own buckets. Yeah, that container that you was gonna put your Doge checks in, that's still empty. Yeah, take that on down there. Yeah, tell them you applying for the gringo position. You missed the good $11, $12. Now they down to $8. Now they down to $8. Y'all better get down there. Like I'm saying, it's gonna keep going down. And don't think we don't know who keep voting against minimum wage. Huh? Yeah.
First off, good morning. Second off, take a look at this listing from AM/PM staffing services. It's crazy, right? I believe this job posting is for MAGA, the white nationalists, and everyone that want the immigrants out of the country. They want farm pickers to pick blueberries on the farm in Louisiana for $11 an hour. 9 to 10 hours a day, 7 days a week in the months of May and July.
I'm sorry, I missed that, but you said 7 days a week? 7 days, so every day. Okay. No, that's not a problem. That's perfect, because we want them out the house every day. Yeah. Okay, that is perfect. Church? Nah, they don't need to go to church, because they ain't learned nothing. They, you know what I mean? They got the gospel all twisted. They'd probably be better off in the fields, to be honest. Who knows what trouble they can get into by using the Bible? We've seen that from MAGA.
Do you understand what May through July? Do you understand how hot it is in Louisiana? They want to get rid of the migrants. And then they want to put a listing like this?
Well, that's perfect. That's perfect. That ain't no problem. No, because look, when I go on vacation, okay, I go to the beach and I see people that just lay out on the beach, no shade, for the whole day, for their leisure. Yeah, it's crazy. You know what I mean? So, I go there to get in the water. You know what I mean? Or I might walk the beach. I'm not just lay out in the sun. No. They will do that for leisure. So imagine if they can get paid for it. I know.
Do y'all remember when Trump said that the migrants and illegal immigrants that was taking black jobs, these are the type of jobs that he was talking about. This is how they figured that black people should be working like slaves. You know what I'm saying? Because right now, doing that kind of work and that kind of heat for that kind of pay, that's slave labor right there, bro. That's some labor. I mean, that is really jobs for some disenfranchised people in this country.
Now, you hit the nail on the head there. That is absolutely a job for some disenfranchised people in this country. But I believe that is the language of the white nationalists now, isn't it? That is the language of the white nationalists. Isn't that what y'all been putting out? All this conversation about how oppressed you are by the woke mob and the woke agenda? Well, it looks like you are overqualified for this particular position. You know what I mean? And look, I knew it was going to take some convincing. I went ahead and put a call in. They expecting you at 3.
Believe it or not, this is what they want us as black people to be doing. But the thing about it is, we're not doing stuff like this. This is why they're trying to get rid of the education system, or downgrade the education system, defund it, defund the job corps, and shit like that, because we as a people, black people, are rising up above the oppression and fighting back against the oppression by getting more well educated daily. We are getting more well educated. We are starting our own businesses, doing our own thing, not having to work for a mediocre supervisor when we know that we are better than them. You know what I mean? So I think it's time for MAGA, the white nationalists, the proud American first people, step up. Go ahead and step up. Take this job right here. Go help out your fellow farmers, your fellow Americans that need the help right now. Y'all want everything done in America. There you go. Buy Americans. There you go. Go do this.
Now, I believe my brother meant to say better educated, but he was cooking. So I like to let it flow. Now, to the point that he had about the Job Corps, to the point that he had about mechanisms of upward mobility being eliminated, he's not lying about that one. I believe Jasmine Crockett might have addressed exactly where we're at with it.
So I had to go around the country and educate people about what immigrants do for this country, or the fact that we are a country of immigrants.
Right.
The fact is, ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now. Okay, so I'm lying. Raise your hands. You're not. We done picking cotton. We are. You can't pay us enough to find a plantation.
I know that's right.
So imagine my shock, and I addressed this when that exact audio came out, that this apparently was news to the MAGAs. Apparently they thought that they could just victimize themselves without it changing the way that people see them.
Hold on, so let me get this straight. The white farmers in Louisiana, they're mad because people of color won't come work on their farms for $11 an hour in 100-degree heat for 10 plus hours a day. Let me run that back. White farmers are mad. The very farmers that voted Republican, okay, they voted for this, are mad that people of color won't come work on their farms for $11 an hour in 100-degree heat for 10 plus hours a day. I'm saying you get what you ask for. Hey, it's FAFO type shit, okay? But hey, don't be fooled. I feel like it's gonna come to a point where they're finna make people get on their farms. Don't count me to it. Because if 2025 was a checklist, hey.
Now, as down bad as Louisiana is at this particular point in time, they aren't the only ones, because Nebraska's looking at Louisiana like, yo, that's a good idea.
Saw the news out of Nebraska today. Apparently our entire state is going to go bankrupt in 2 quarters. Me and my husband owned a cattle ranch here, and I can confirm that all of the cattle ranchers here overwhelmingly voted for Trump. We support him. We voted for him. Something like 70% of our entire workforce is undocumented immigrants, and they straight up are not showing up for work anymore. They have all either fled the country, fled the state. They don't want to get raided while at work, so they have just moved on to work somewhere else. And straight up, we are gonna go bankrupt now. We are gonna go bankrupt, and yeah, we voted. We knew that the immigrants would get deported, and he was coming after immigrants. Yet we still voted for it. Overwhelmingly voted for our own demise.
Nebraska. Oh, you got it?
Trump kept saying during this campaign that the illegals were here stealing the blacks' jobs. He just kept harping on the black jobs, and everybody was like, what the hell is a black job? Well, this is just my perspective, or it's just my thought. I'm thinking that the Virginians and all the rest of the people who were depending on illegal immigrants for their labor, they kept hearing Trump saying that the black people jobs were being taken. I'm thinking in their minds, they were hearing Trump saying the black people are going to come back to those jobs. In my mind, I'm thinking they were hearing Trump says the black people are going to replace all those immigrants out in the fields and on the farms and all of that. I'm thinking that's what they were hearing. That's why they weren't messed up about voting to get rid of their illegal immigrants. They were thinking that the black people were going to step up and take those jobs back, because Trump kept saying these illegal immigrants are stealing the blacks' jobs. And therefore, in their mind, they heard we were getting our 1,800 slaves back. They had to have thought that their backup plan, Trump was going to miraculously, somehow, magically put all the black people back out in those fields, on those farms, and they were going to continue to get their work done. Now, that's just my thinking, because you cannot tell me that you as a business owner would get rid of your workforce and not have a backup plan. You are not going to knowingly and willingly walk into a bankruptcy, walk into losing your business, walk into losing your farms that have been in your family for 300 years unless you thought there was a backup plan. And the backup plan was supposed to be the blacks.
So I hope, Oh, you need to hear it from a white person? Fine.
I have a question for the rest of America. Does anyone even care about Nebraska? Does anyone even care?
Do you care about Nebraska? Because I have a feeling you voted for this. I mean, Nebraskans don't even care about Nebraska. Let me ask you another question. Who exactly did you think were going to work in the fields and in the farms after all of the regular day laborers, people of color, are no longer there anymore? Who did you think was going to do it? Did you think that there was just this army of white workers ready to get into those farms and pick all the vegetables? Now people like you who voted for this to happen are upset that something's affecting you, because what people like you tend to really vote for, it's not the economy. It's because you want to express racism and bigotry, and he was the only way that you could do that. But now it's affecting you. All those farms are disappearing, including that 300-year-old farm. And you want to know why nobody's upset at that? It's because you guys did it to yourself. You'd rather vote to have your racism easily spread across the United States instead of thinking about yourself, because you always vote against your own interests, don't you? And isn't it just like you? You voted to hurt other people, but now when it's starting to hurt you, you want us to feel sympathetic for you. Get the f*** out of here.
You said you wanted to hear from a white person. She gave it to you straight. But buck up, Like Trump said, bear with him.
Our farmers, starting on April 2nd, it may be a little bit of an adjustment period. We had that before when I made the deal with China, $50 billion of purchases, and I said, just bear with me, and they did. They did. Probably have to bear with me again, and this will be even better. That was great. The problem with it was that Biden didn't enforce it. He didn't enforce it. $50 billion of purchases.
Now, my favorite part of bear with me is how badly it went the first time. It'd be like me talking to one of my exes, like, yeah, just bear with me. It would work out like our relationship didn't. How you telling people? But this is the thing. This is the thing, MAGA. You have a choice, okay? You can either stand on business and pick up that empty Doge check bucket and hit them fields, or you could get in line for MAGA hypocrisy and completely do away with all of your xenophobic America First nonsense. Huh? What? Oh, you want to talk to the supervisor?
Why don't I hire Americans? The simple answer is we can't get the workers. No American ever calls. No American ever shows up. That's why we are so grateful for the guys that are willing to come and do the work here on the farm. We can't do this without them. And we can't do this with people in our local communities a lot of the time, because when we ask, they don't come. Mass deportations would be an absolute disaster, guys. As a farmer, I look at it and I'm like, how would we exist without a massive portion of the workforce? If we don't have people to do work on farms, you don't eat, I don't eat, we don't exist as a country.
And there's more. Indeed, doing jobs white Americans have never applied for and likely never will. Interview evidence from construction site supervisors and farm owners. They reached out to white workers. Nobody replied except one who quit the next day. So those saying taking American jobs, shut the... Then we got this one. I was in charge of 9 crews at a major landscape company in Reno in late 90s and the early 2000s. Couldn't get white people to mow 30 to 45 yards a day. If I did hire a white person, they either walked off the job or left after their demand for more money was denied. Not one lasted beyond 1 week. Now, if I had to play devil's advocate, if we're talking about the late 90s and the early 2000s, that was probably skater jeans. Yeah, it was probably the skater jeans was getting in the way of the mower. So I think that's you know what I mean? Because I even had those. I can admit that. Statute of limitations is up on that, right? Yep, and interestingly, white folks who have complained bitterly about immigrants, quote, taking their jobs have not rushed in to fill the construction and farm vacancies those immigrants left. Why? Because they don't want to do that kind of work in the first place. Too hard, low pay. And last but not least, white people think they are too good for manual labor jobs that require them to work in the heat outside on roofs, construction sites, or harvesting crops. Republicans don't want illegals and then bitch that nobody wants to work when their own won't take said jobs. Huh? I gave you a choice. Which way you gonna go, MAGA? You gonna hit them fields or you wanna... Oh, you want to sign up for hypocrisy? You want to go back on all the America First, mass deportation, all the xenophobic, racist nonsense? Fair enough. That is a well-beaten path with MAGA.
What made you change your mind about targeting in California farmers and people in the hotel and leisure business?
Well, we're not targeting. In fact, if you look today, I put out a statement today about farmers. Our farmers are being hurt badly by, you know, they have very good workers. They've worked for them for 20 years. They're not citizens, but they've turned out to be, you know, great. And we're going to have to do something about that. We can't take farmers and take all their people and send them back because they don't have maybe what they're supposed to have, maybe not. And you know what's going to happen and what is happening? They get rid of some of the people because, you know, you go into a farm and you look and people they've been there for 20, 25 years and they've worked great and the owner of the farm loves them and everything else. And then you're supposed to throw them out. And you know what happens? They end up hiring the people, the criminals that have come in, the murderers from prisons and everything else. So we're going to have an order on that pretty soon, I think. We can't do that to our farmers and leisure too, hotels. We're going to have to use a lot of common sense on that.
I do appreciate how he included leisure. The man who was in the hotel business comfortably included his space. That is very well done. All right, so MAGA, you made your bed. Unfortunately, I have a little bit of bad news. This is for you as well as for Trump. See, as the lot of you complained as soon as the ramifications of your actions affected you personally, unfortunately, there were some amongst you that were so hateful and so nasty of spirit. They were willing to stand on business. Yeah, they are still about that racist life. And they ain't done. Good luck. Let them fight. No, let them get it out their system. Matter of fact, let me get my camera. I can do a whole video about this. I'll be back. Hey, what's going on, y'all? Thanks so much for watching the video. Yes, that's right. Your boy is back from vacation, feeling refreshed and ready to go.
Somebody get on this player box.
Yes, we do.
All right. So everyone's gonna shut up, and we're gonna say this once, and we're only gonna say it again because we're frustrated as hell.
And that definitely means you should be on the lookout for some new Way of Waters content. So make sure you check that out and subscribe to my second channel at Way of Waters. But while I was gone, y'all definitely held me down, and I appreciate that. I've mentioned before that I premiere all my videos, but did you know it actually gives me a ranking of who's doing the most work in the chat? They done messed around and passed Miss Ray. Shout out to All Things Go. I see Nick Adams, Non-Point in here, Patricia Jackson, Yolanda Gibson, Carney, my man Dank, I know Regina, I'm Just Jay, Roberta, and Alice in Kenzo Land. I see Honey Love, Jamal, Kat, Quentin, Tammy, Katrine, and Muriel rounding out the top 20.
Never could have made it without you. I said close them doors. Ushers, close the doors.
Make sure you be on the lookout for notifications when I schedule my video releases and my premieres so you can rise up that leaderboard. And while we're on the topic of support, I gotta show some love to the Mod Squad. No, not that Mod Squad. I'm talking about our Mod Squad. That is Mariana, Dank, Deshauna, Roberta, Free Me, Larry, Chernobyl, and of course, Miss Ray, who have made this channel a place where so many people feel comfortable being themselves, expressing, sharing, growing, and learning together. And I, for one, am eternally grateful to all of you for your contribution.